I suppose I am, a woman he's hired who dances in his bar. And it begins with his reflections and his thoughts, which are addressed to her.
On KCRW St. Monica, I'm Deirdre O'Donoghue, and this is an excerpt from The Middle of Nowhere by Joe Frank.
I remember when you came into town a few weeks ago. I want to know right away who you were, where you were from, where you'd been, what you were thinking. Then the day you walked through that door looking for a job, there's no way I couldn't hire you. Just had to have you around here. The way you grace this place, the look of your face, the flow of your hair, those big skirts, your strong legs. I didn't know you were a dancer. I never would have guessed in a million years. But when you threw that quarter in the juke and got up on that table, I want to tell you, you sure stopped me. Spinning your spins, lifting your legs, your face all aglow. Then you just started peeling off your jacket, your skirts and your stockings. I didn't know what to do or to think. I was confused. I saw you as a goddess. And I didn't want to know your flesh. But then again, I couldn't take my eyes off you. You were so beautiful. It was something I'd never seen before. I kept saying, this shouldn't be. But then there it was. And as I watched that blouse come off of your shoulders, I felt uplifted. And there you were, just smiling at me and winking and singing, and I just felt like grabbing you, and I just felt like running out of there, and I felt like praying, and I felt like singing to you, and I felt like taking off my clothes, and I felt like dancing, and I felt like kicking a jukebox off, and I felt like grabbing you, and I felt like thrashing you around, but I couldn't move. And then you gave me your hand, wanted me to help you down off that table, naked and glistening, just like an angel. And I reached up and grabbed you around that tiny little waist of yours. And I dropped you down. And you stood before me. Just a vision. When we walked down onto that riverbank. When you told me you were from overseas there in France and all. Well, I'd never even been anywhere like that. Place with old customs, old ways, a whole different language. Well, I tried to imagine you going to the holy waters at Lourdes, and washing yourself down, praying for salvation, looking for a miracle, not knowing you were one, perfecting yourself for me. Goodbye, old friend. This is the end of the man I used to be. 'Cause there's been a strange and welcome change in me. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. Someone I've needed so long. For once, unafraid,
I can go where life leads me, and somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew someone warm like you. Well, just slow it down a little bit. I'm getting up there. It'd make my dream. Hold back on it now, would you come true? For one, dang you boys, I'm talking to you now. Hang on to it. For my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me. Not the way you boys are cutting into this song now. Cut it out, would you? Damn, slow it down like it's hurt me before. Oh, drive the knife in a little deeper, why don't you? Give me a chance to get it out. Y'all taking this thing over for yourselves, aren't you? For once I have something I know won't desert me. Not like you bunch of jackasses. I'm asking you, hold back on that thing. Pull back on it, Billy Bob. God dang it now. This is my song for once in my life. And I got someone that needs me. I want to sing to it. Just let me go on it, would you now? Long as I know I have love, I can make it. What I could use is a damn band out there instead of a bunch of crackers. I have someone who needs me. Not like you bunch of turkeys. Cut it out now, Jimmy Ray. Would you hold back on that thing? Don't tie it up yet. Don't tie it up yet, I say. Hang on to it, would you? I have someone I can make it. Oh, you bunch of Roman rascals, leave it go now. For once in my life, I got someone who needs me. Just a bunch of flipping animals, y'all of you. I brought y'all down here, didn't I? And I give you all $8 a piece. You come down here and back me up tonight. Y'all think it's a big, funny joke. Look at you, hot dog, back here, this big smile grinning ear to ear, aren't you? Think you can make a fool out of me? Well, I'll tell you, it did embarrass me, but you won't cut into my heart, fella, because I got something to sing about tonight, and I'm going to get it off the ground, and I'm going to make y'all stay here till we get it right. You understand what I'm telling you now? Dang nation, I just wanted a little bit of a song to come out of my own heart. Y'all bunch of flumbering jackasses is what you are, thinking musicians. Hell, you don't know nothing about music. Just swinging on them sweet strings. You can't even keep this simple little song in time. Everybody knows this on the radio. I studied this for 6 weeks. 6 weeks I've been going. I got $90 tied up in this whole thing. And y'all think it's real funny, don't you? You want to talk about singing on key. Singing on key, I'm talking about singing on love.
been, I guess, legally allowed to drink before, and they were having lunch together as a young crowd
I see.
of young comers.
Up and coming.
The salmon is superb. They barbecue a salmon in both places. $17 to $20 dinners for the entree.
This is really, though, one of the best. Unlike Rebecca's, where I think it's really fair to say that the cuisine is nondescript, and you don't really, go to.
The hors d'oeuvres are marvelous.
Yeah, the seafood is the seafood hors d'oeuvres are good. Yeah.
The scampi is very fine.
Yeah, but you don't go to Rebecca's to eat. You go to Rebecca's to be there.
Yeah.
At
And
72, you
eat.
Yes.
And I think the waiters are the nicest waiters I've run across. They're very gentle with you. They have the hottest, freshest rolls that have the strongest crust to them.
My window, and I find myself thinking about your eyes. You know I can feel where your heart is and what you're thinking. I want to thank you for giving every kind of loving that I know.
Songs like Thank You had the sound of the times down pat, but maybe the Remains were ahead of their times. They broke up in 1967, just as a host of San Francisco bands who weren't half as good started making headlines. Eventually, their guitarist, Barry Tashian, wound up in Emmylou Harris's band, and the rest of them, well, who knows? In this business, it's best to take their advice. Don't look back.
Our rock and roll historian Ed Ward is co-author of Rock of Ages, the Rolling Stone History of Rock and Roll. He also writes for the Austin Chronicle.
Walking home, we'd run across the fields until we were alone. To a bridge that's so
You're invited to a poetry reading every Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. David Yu hosts Spoken Words, featuring poets from around town here at 88.9 FM, KXLU Los Angeles.
Titanic survivors conspiring to portal each other's hell in North Carolina, Nebraska.
Yeah, it's Portland, and that was Vermont off their brand new album. Napalm Shower was the name of the track, and Shark Attack is the album from Vermont. You can get it now. It's great.
Paul Krassner, every Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30 here on 90.7.
It's another fine mess you've gotten us into, Ollie.
Passengers aboard a Delta airliner were told to prepare to crash yesterday. A spokesman says the pilots accidentally turned off both engines after taking off from Los Angeles, but were able to restart them and landed safely in Cincinnati. The witness will be Oliver North, but the questions will be about President Reagan's knowledge as the congressional panel's looking into the Iran-Contra affair questioned North this afternoon. One day after he provided some of his personal records to the committee, North will be back on Capitol Hill to testify in private. He's due to talk about what the president knew about the diversion of money from the Iran arms sales to the Nicaraguan rebels.
Moment, where is he? And what is Fawn Hall and Rob Owen? And what is Director Casey doing at this very moment? What mischief is he brewing?
Well, as I understand it, Oral Roberts is going to raise Casey from the dead.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, this is a special request by the committee to have him testify.
Well, if anybody can do it, Oral can do it. Now, I remember reading in the paper recently that someone came running up, interrupting his service, he said, I had to get on with the service, and this woman came up, interrupting my service with her dead child in her arms. That's rude, you know?
I know. People have no thoughtfulness anymore.
They don't have any sense of format, of timing. And brought the dead baby up in her arms. And so Oral, in order to get on with the service, had to raise the boy from the dead. All right, he's alive. Let's get on.
And then the first thing the mother says when the kid comes back to life is, I told you if you're going to die to do it before we left the house.
Yes. And I'm never going to take you to another of these meetings. You keep dying on me. And, of course, Oral Roberts has caused a real what would you say, little scandal amongst the Pay the Lord preachers.
Well, of course. Well, you know, if because they're very competitive, and so for him to say that he was going to come back with Christ for the second coming
alone, he gives the impression like he said, I'll get my chance to reign. I'll get mine. I'm coming back with Christ, and then you people, I'm going to put your feet to the fire.
Don't you parade on my reign. So he was there, and he said, and of course he got a communique from Jesus, which said, "Look, kid, I work alone."
Was it a prof note? Do you think?
A prof note. Well, let me tell you something, Commandante Baldi. This week there were some hearings on a little bit after at the end of last week.
That's right. What's his name? Cooper came on. Right. No, there were Sporkin and
Sporkin,
Cooper.
Even after
right.
We
what
finished,
am I saying? Yes.
I heard Sporkin and
just a second. Oliver North is in the booth behind us. Take a look.
Oh yeah, I'd recognize him anywhere.
Yeah, he's got all his medals on and his cap, and he's not lighting his cigarette because that's dangerous.
Right. I'm sure he said, Betsy, should I wear the Purple Heart over here, or should I have the Congressional Medal of Honor over there?
Well, I just went down to the store, and I got these extra campaign ribbons. I know they're from World War II, but they match the colors just right. Do you like these? Where shall I put the corregidor here?
Right. And should I wear my boxer shorts with the Stars and Stripes, or my
or how about the tight jockeys that Secord sent me last week?
That's right, with the extra pocket for documents. But I'll tell you something. You know, you get caught up with, since we are the Contra Comics. I thought I really had lost it last week. I was listening to the hearings on radio, and I suddenly hear them say, you know, sometimes you're kind of dozing off.
Sometimes.
and you suddenly wake up with a start when you hear something like, we need more comedy in the White House. And I said, well, I agree with that, but still, what are they saying? And so then you wake up and you're really paying attention, and you hear the committee member saying, yes, but it's a two-way street. We should have comedy between the White House and the Congress.
I heard that. I said, yeah, more laughs, more clowns.
I thought so, but I knew that they couldn't really mean that. And
They
so,
couldn't.
so I went to the TV set, somehow thinking maybe I would see subtitles. But there were none, and I couldn't read the lips, so I closed my eyes, figuring I'll just narrow it to the audio sense. And of course, then I realized I could return to the radio. And comedy, of course, turned out to be spelled COMITY, which means harmonious interchange, something like that. But it was a moment. It was a moment where I thought I had lost it.
I had the same experience. I really thought that they were recommending that the guys up in the White House, paste on a sense of humor, but no possible
Well, they tried.
way.
Sporkin, after we departed, Sporkin did say that there was some meetings they had in the bathroom, but he couldn't remember what they said because his mind was on other things. That was the kind of highlight for me.
I can see those guys in the bathroom, It's just, well, no, I can't. I can't get into it. I see all those. Anyway, Sporkin. Oh, Sporkin, as I say, he's the guy that you get as a professor when you sign up for the wrong class. He's, oh no, Professor Sporkin. And then we had Cooper. Cooper the next day. Young man Cooper, the man who came to tell us that everybody lied. They all lied. They all got together. They lied to me. They lied to the Congress. And the worst of all was Ollie North. And Ollie would lie even under oath. Now, why do you think?
Well, then he wouldn't take the oath. He wouldn't, would you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, to help you God?
He says yes, and he's lying.
Oh, that's already a lie. That's true, yeah.
But he's not lying under oath because he's got to take the oath to be lying under oath. So that's one of those Hofstadter-type conundrums. In any case, though, Cooper said that he would lie under oath. Have we got a microphone problem here? No. Oh, we're setting up the mics for when we take the calls later on. The lines are already lighting up. People can hardly
Well,
wait.
listen, CB, did you think that it was as if they were trying to set North up in terms of the buck stops here? And to stop it at him and Poindexter and McFarland rather than with Meese and that crowd?
Well, I think what it is, it's the buck never got here because it's quite obvious. And in fact, as we speak, they are grilling Ollie North.
I thought they were sautéing him.
No, they're grilling him. No, the saute is only a light brown. They want to get right down to this man. They want to boil all the fat out. And they're asking him specifically today about the president's, the degree of the president's culpability in the diversion of funds. Now, since they know that North is going to be talking, what's the best way to keep Meese and Reagan clear is to convince the American public that no matter what Ollie says, he's lying.
That's right.
And in fact, Ollie was asked the following questions. This is right off the news. Lyman asked him, and he said yes to the following questions.
I'll play North.
All right. Do you have any knowledge regarding the efforts of the U.S. government to secure the release of American hostages in Lebanon?
Yes, sir.
That's very good. Do you have knowledge regarding the sale of U.S. military equipment and the transfer of intelligence to Iran in connection with that effort?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
Do you have any knowledge concerning the generation and use of the proceeds from these sales and related matters?
Yes, sirree, Bobaroo.
Do you have knowledge about the support for the Contras that was given by the United States government personnel after January 1st, 1984, after Congress banned or limited such age?
Oh, excuse me. I was just on the phone talking to Betsy, seeing if she was getting those flags ready for those Kuwaiti ships. Would you repeat the question?
Well, I won't. Just say yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what
3 bags full.
3 bags full. And we have those bags now. Unfortunately, they're all shredded. So North is going to talk. What if he says to them, yes, Fat Man Meese and Director Casey ran the whole show through me, and I debrief the president on a daily basis, which is probably what he could possibly say. And they'll say, well, he's obviously lying.
That's right. And obviously an oath doesn't enhance the lie.
No. So his wife is part of that party of the Daughters of the American Revolution who are making all those flags for the Kuwaiti tankers.
Oh yeah, it gives Americans jobs, so I think it can't be all bad.
I think it's the flag lobby that probably is behind the entire Persian Gulf Initiative. That's entirely possible. I think that the important thing is getting flags ready for these tankers, because the flags are going to get blown off during all of the naval action.
Now, there's a few other things in the news this week besides the Contra hearings. I want to make a brief comment about Michael Jackson.
Oh, really? Michael Jackson, the man, the apostate Michael Jackson?
The one who's a member of Jehovah's Witnesses.
No more.
Who? Why? His bodyguards beat up somebody who wouldn't join?
No, he left the Jehovah's Witnesses 2 weeks ago. It's a big story. That's why I said the apostate. That's right. He's out. He's gone.
Oh, see, you missed the news one day.
That's it. One day, old Thunderheart was up in Portland doing some stand-up, and he missed it. He's just out of it, man. 2 points, 2 points. Okay, so what about Michael Jackson, besides the fact that he's no longer witnessing for the Jehovah's?
Well, we know that this is government by public relations.
Of course.
And that ordinarily Ronald Reagan and Nancy would not be seen with a black kid with greasy hair who wears one glove and sings in a high voice. But they did it because it made a great photo opportunity. And that kind of power goes to Michael Jackson's head, which is why he kind of absorbed, as if by osmosis, the amorality of the administration. And so, with equal aplomb, he would buy the rights to the Beatles songs as well as the remains of the Elephant Man. And then what does he do? He sells the rights to those, so we now have the Beatles song Revolution selling Nike sneakers.
Right.
And what would he do if he got the Elephant Man's remain? Sell it to a cosmetic surgeon for a TV commercial?
It's entirely possible. Or he might just, Knott's Berry Farm, come see the Elephant Man.
That's right.
Come see the Elephant Man. The dinosaurs. Watch out for Elephant Man parts.
Right, maybe I'll sell it to Disneyland, have it as one of those animated...
Why not sell it to McDonald's? They can mix it in with kangaroo and make a new burger. McElephant burger, just a tiny bit in every burger. See if you can find it.
Right, you'll never forget the taste.
So there's been more than Iran-Contra, although we should mention also that the fat man's in the news. We're talking here about the Attorney General.
Oh, let's not make obese references. He has enough evil surrounding him. We don't have to delve into his physical characteristics.
That's true. Calling him the fat, but he just reminds me of the Sidney Greenstreet of judicial process, and that's why I'm referring to is the Sidney Greenstreet character.
But he also has a touch of Ed McMahon. When Reagan says a joke, you can hear Mies go ha 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 ha.
Here's Ronnie. Well, Mies is in the news. It appears that 2 NSC subordinates complained to Admiral Pointheader that Ollie North was supplying the Contras. And Pointheader said, well, I'll check into this, and came back and said, I took it to Mr. Mies, and Mr. Mies checked it out, and he said nothing illegal is going on.
Oh, well, that's because Mies said, I'm sorry, I have to go to a wedding.
WedTech, that does sound like an organization that's involved in creating or mass producing matrimony, which is very much in the format of the Reagan administration. Unfortunately, the blind investments, another Mies story, right? His blind investments in WedTech turned out not to be blind after all, even though he did put on those dark glasses and get that seeing eye dog and go down to the corner of M and 23rd and hand money over to that Chinese investment banker. It turns out that he knew all along what he was doing. Poor Mies.
But, you have to give him credit. It will come out. This may sound like a joke, but I think it will come out that Mies was the missing link in getting funds from WedTech to pay the blackmail for Jessica Hahn through the PTL.
It's possible, because Mises is a serious fundamentalist. We have to remember that the fundamentalists, the Christian fundamentalists, the tribulationists, the Pentecostals are running, well, not necessarily the Pentecostals, it's the Falwell side. I don't think he's a Pentecostal, he's just a fundamentalist, are running this government.
Oh, but Mises is heavy. There was a story in Spotlight, which is a kind of right-wing Liberty Lobby.
That's what they sound like as they come down
Liberty Lobby, who... and they're kind of anti-Semitic, but they're pro-Israel because they think Armageddon is going to take place and they want all the Jews to be there when the nuclear Holocaust happens.
Well, you can't have the Holocaust without all the Jews being there, without the Antichrist sitting in the temple. I mean, a lot of news has to go down before this world goes up in flames. You've got to have the things, Magog and Gog, you've got to have them in place. Everybody's got to be there.
That's right.
Do you know who's running the foreign policy of the United States government? St. John the Divine.
I thought it was Jerry Falwell.
It's the same person. Jerry Falwell believes that he speaks. I speak. I speak for the prophets.
Armageddon out of here.
Armageddon, ding, 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 Armageddon.
But anyway, the story in Spotlight points out how Mies has said that there were evil demons inhabiting the White House and the National Security Council, and that he wants to have those buildings exorcised.
Well, remember who was the man, the Catholic priest that lived in the White House during the Nixon tenure? He was the last man to move out after Nixon resigned. Do you remember that man? Someone will remember when they call. Someone here remembers his name. It was an Irish name. It was McMahon or some name like that, McGuinness or McMurtry. And he was almost, I think he was a Boston area priest who had almost been defrocked once and moved in. There was Rabbi Koch or whatever his name was, and this guy, and they should bring him back and exorcise the place.
Well, don't forget that when the 18 and a half minutes of missing tape in the Watergate hearings, which actually Fawn Hall has never publicly given credit to the inspiration that Rosemary Wood provided for her.
No, never at all.
She was just a sub-teenager then and was looking for a role model. You know, somebody, she prayed for somebody who she could be that loyal to, too. Anyway, it was General Alexander Haig who attributed those 18 and a half minutes missing to sinister forces in the White House. Remember that? Sinister forces.
Yeah, Alexander Haig. Oh, my. Well, Falwell and Mies, they're the ones that go to our president and say, now look, you have a perspective, you have a position that is above Congress, it's above the law. You are being fed directly by the saints and the prophets and God himself. Our foreign policy is to get Gog and Magog and all of these various people together, get a war going on in Israel, then you're going to be swept up in the rapture with 999 other saints. We'll give Nancy plenty of time to collect a nice wardrobe, and then you, from that position at the right hand of God, you're going to watch the world go up in flames, and then we're all coming down, not just Oral Roberts, but all of us are coming down and are going to reign with Christ for 1,000 years. Now, how about that for foreign policy?
One major issue, whether Reagan knew of or approved the diversion of profits from the covert U.S. arms sales to Iran to the Contras. Earlier, Norris lawyers fought another inconclusive round in their legal battle to thwart the efforts of the independent counsel, Lawrence Walsh. Walsh is conducting a separate criminal probe of the scandal, and North is a prime target of that probe. North is challenging the constitutionality of the independent counsel's authority in a legal procedure that could drag on for several months. Yesterday, North met with committee investigators and formally accepted limited immunity in return for his secret and public testimony. In that meeting, he confirmed his knowledge of the scandal. Today's questioning was limited to just a few of the 26 members of the two panels and their chief counsels. Committee spokesman said North's testimony would be transcribed and held under strict security to avoid leaks. Under the rules of limited immunity, neither North's private or public testimony can be used against him in any criminal case billed by Walsh.
Brother A. West satellite dishes.
Where's he these days? I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, no one has.
Brother West. He's on a secret mission. He's on a secret mission. Classified information.
That's why he's been... That's why I don't know.
He's out fighting the devil wherever you may find him.
Devil's everywhere.
The devil's work is... Oh
no.
Hallelujah, Brother A. West. I'm really looking forward to the tour. I don't know about you, Ed.
Oh, yeah. We're learning new songs for this very occasion.
Yeah, we're going to play some Firehose covers this tour.
Are ya?
Yeah, well...
Wow.
That's cool.
We don't know any Firehose covers yet.
Slavenly's got a new album out, too, called Repost, and it's on SST, and it's really, really cool.
Well, it's actually not out yet.
Well, it's almost.
How would you characterize this album as, say, opposed to the last album?
I would say it's going along the lines of what the title is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know what that
is. A concept LP.
Well, really. The concept is, as far as comparing it to the last record, it is more or less trying to come back to realization as to what our real direction is in music.
The old realization directional boy. Very clever.
Bring it all back home, because we let it go astray for a while.
Kind of getting back to your roots, then.
That's right. Bring it on home.
Well, I'm into that.
And how soon is it going to be until it's available?
Well, I'm the wrong person to talk to about that, Kim.
Okay, I guess I'm supposed to know that.
It's supposed to come out on my birthday, which is July 7th.
Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Ed, you should sing Happy Birthday, I think. Totally.
Please.
It would be nice.
Do it on guitar. It's much
I don't have a guitar here, but maybe a cappella will do.
harmonica.
Here we go, Watson.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Tom. All the way in San Francisco. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, Edward.
Wow, that was so...
That was great.
That was lovely.
That's something, that better be on tape.
It is. Yeah, we got this all on tape.
That's going to incriminate you.
This is the Watson birthday tape, so it's on. Okay, well...
400 miles away, ladies and gentlemen.
Truly amazing.
It is, God, all because of the little speakerphone. Well, we should play some music.
More music. This is a radio station.
Yeah, true. We can play some Fire Hose off of Raging Full On, and we can talk to Watson some more later.
Captain, there are doubts